Well, we don't have long because they're just about to get underway for qualifying, but I just want to say hello, everybody, and welcome to another round here in SSRL. It is Division 1 for tonight with our fastest drivers racing for that coveted top position. Let's go through how far we are into the season. We are in Saudi Arabia for tonight. Then it'll be Belgium to mark off the halfway point. Then we're off to Hungary, Spain, Mystery GP for round 8, the Netherlands, and then it will be Monza, Italy for a full qualifying. And of course, next week will be our reverse grid 100% race special. But to get matters out the way, for going into this evening, Robastian leads your title by 5 points, getting all 3 positions on the podium in the first 3 races. Andy having to settle for second and first, and even an outside 5th position. He is 5 points behind, but it's probably going to be more than likely catching up. Danger David, we have a bit of an announcement about him as Andrew and Bavish round out your top 5. Then it's Wouter, Race Chase, Kashka, and Energetic rounding out your top 10, followed by 11th, 15th, following with Fellow Sun Control, Tarkangina, and Quan, with your 20 drivers being rounded out by Vero Ducko, Crankjog, Fletch, and Vincenzo. Into your team standings now, as I just take a moment just to fix this very briefly. It is currently Williams out on top. And they're doing me dirty with the kick. So Williams leading by 34 points to kick Sauber, but Racing Bulls and McLaren not too far behind, but they're technically in a fight of their own. Then it's Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, Alpine, and Aston Martin with the Haas rounding out your 10 constructors. And because we really do need to get a move on, let's see what's happening in qualifying. And I don't know why, but that's come out as absolutely screwed. Just give me a moment to fix all of this. I do apologize, chat, for the inconvenient start, but hopefully that has fixed it for you. We're currently seeing a few drivers on an outlap, but let's introduce the best co-commentator you could ask for, a rambling German who specializes in F1 breaking points, Rainbow Six Siege, and of course is Season 1 champion here in SSRL. It's the one and only Herman the German. How are you doing this evening?
Good evening, Dave, and everyone out there. Yeah, looking forward to this one as usual. Saudi, a bit of a history with this league and myself as well, so I hope no one's gonna suffer from that turn 1 punt as I've before. And yeah, let's see some close action on this very first street circuit as the first laps are coming in. What are you expecting for this one, Dave? Because I think this is not only gonna be hot, but very humid as well. In terms of that, I think a lot of people will be sweating in that first sector to get some lap time out of it, because these curbs are interesting and the rest is kind of flat anyway. So yeah, you need to be looking at lap time for that first sector as we have approached the first 3 minutes of quali, with Andy leading the charge, currently the winner from last time out, and he has already completed sector 1, now kind of going around that 180-degree curve bank that kind of makes this make the track. Oh, and that's not good.
Oh, no.
That's for David on his farewell race.
I was just going to talk about that as well. Sorry to Herman there, but like I was just going to say, David has announced that this is the last time he is going to be racing full time in Division 1 and SSRL full stop, maybe league racing altogether. And David was only on an outlap as well. And, well, this is his goodbye. And now starts the evening with a 5-place grid penalty for a serious collision. I didn't quite catch who that was with, if you could fill me in on that, Herman.
Rendorg. He also got a penalty.
Oh, goodness me. Okay, as then Andy Andre straight to the top with a 127.5. And that is, of course, the first fine lap with Robastian not too far behind. And, of course, as in terms of what I am expecting from this race, to answer your original question, Herman, I am actually expecting somebody to get punted into turn 1, as we now see Sveda Ferenc with a 5-place grid penalty, as we are seeing the retirements
what
in
the
this...
fuck is going on? Sorry, Ferenc
okay.
just almost took out... I think that was... Yeah, he's out. Crankjog is out. Same turn as Rendog just retired. And there's another one.
Hey.
And has crashed as well.
I think we've got...
What's going on?
This is not a session restart. Andrew has just lost it going through turns 22, 23, and 24. And now we have 4 drivers out in such quick succession. I wonder, because there is a driver that has said farewell to the league, and there was some troubling standards in qualifying last week. We saw some impediments happening, and I hope that this isn't any continuation of that, of course. I don't wish ill on any of the drivers here, each one bringing, like, you know, effort and hard work here, but I wonder if we're just starting to see trouble. And, well, just to give drivers a bit of credit here, this is a very, very narrow track. It's it's the fastest street circuit on the F1 calendar. And look, like, you know, just look at where Kwan is going fast. Like, no, here, we're just going through sections 18 to 22 now, and he goes wide and invalidates the lap. There's just nowhere to go, Herman. It's so hard to find space to let everybody through.
Yeah, especially some of these turns are very blind. So if someone has parked like this spot in 22 to 24, you cannot see anything. And then you're just kind of guessing where a car is positioning right now. And if you approach at like almost 300 hours there, where Veroduka is now going by to complete his second out of 3 sectors on his first flying lap, you just cannot see anything, and you just have to guess and hope this car is not directly on the racing line, which obviously you cannot rely on, and that makes some sort of like chain reactions with collisions with multiple cars, just like we've seen, even more prominent, basically, because you just have cars going left to avoid, for example, and then you're in the path of another car, and there's not a lot of runoff on this track, and you're just into the wall, and then you're just basically a road blockage, and multiple cars will not go through, especially on that turn. So yeah, just I think especially unlucky for the timing there from Crankyork, because Sweater turned around and he just moved back out of the line, but yeah, Crankyork was already trying to avoid him, and then immediately hit the wall at the exit, just like Mick did a couple of years when he was racing ago, and he's off in turn, I think that's 12 at the end of the first sector. Again, the Kicksauber, who's just been promoted to this team, and yeah, I think that is not the best start, as we have
oh, Barish is in the wall! Barish is in the wall now! He's not retired or anything. Sorry to cut over you, Herman, but Babish from 5th place there, really spinning out, going through. It was turn number 10 there, and he loses it as front wing end plate damage for good measure, and even some of his front wing is gone. But drivers struggling with the conditions here in Saudi Arabia tonight. Herman, there is a lot going on and a lot more destruction, and we're only in qualifying, Herman. What do you think's happening?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the drivers have not acquainted themselves with the track conditions so far. I mean, it's usually a dry track, and it's very cool in this part of the session. But like, if you want to push to the limit too early, and you have like 3 sets where you can put bankers in before and then go flat out in like the last 2 or 3 minutes, that's basically always your match plan, as well as is now approaching the end of his first flying lap, currently in P13. You always want to build the confidence up on a racetrack, and no one of them is like Ollie Behrman, where he just been put into one practice session from last year and then straight into qualifying the next day. They just kind of overdoing it at the moment, and you can get a very good starting position if you just complete a lap now, with Fellerson is about to do for P5 on a 28.1. That's not the fastest, and I think we are going to see even lower 27s, as multiple fast guys haven't posted laps or quicker laps on the second stint. So yeah, I think it just wrong run plan, basically. Too much effort and too much commitment, especially early doors, and now with nine laps to go, a couple of quote-unquote slower guys have opportunities to start further ahead and maybe stay out of trouble. For example, Veroduka currently nicely in P10 as he gets demoted by Tibran, and that was, I think, Kovachka at the same time. So yeah, not too bad for these guys, but for the rest, quite shocking start to the session.
Absolutely. Even Andrew there, of course, going into this evening, 4th place in the Drivers' Championship, race chase into 6th there with a lap time of a 1:28.1. Of course, as Herman said, not the fastest time, and Kwan, the only driver still running in this session, down in 20th only because he has not set a time. In fact, if they include Danger David, but remember, he's got a 5-place grid penalty coming his way for impediments with Rendog. I didn't quite catch the accident. Herman has better insight on that one than I do. And of course, I'll ask for his opinion in just a few moments. But of course, just in case you have just joined us for the first time, it is Danger David's final race in a full-time seat tonight. Ryan Brooks will take over the RB car once the evening proceedings have concluded, beg your pardon. Guy Repka is somebody we have said goodbye to as well. Going into this evening, and of course from everybody here at SSRL, we wish him all the best and hope that future endeavors his future endeavors go smoothly indeed. Thank you very much for racing with us, Guy. And now we are going to see his former teammate complete a flying lap. Danger David, who of course a season best finished of 3rd place, which was all the way in season 4, which Herman might remember fondly, had to go all the way to the final round, and they were only separated by 3 points. This evening he has got 4th place in qualifying. But just to kind of talk about season 4 and with that 3-way battle that you were involved with Andy and David, like, you know, what are some of the most fun memories? Sebastian right to the top there, 127.3. But just before we talk about Sebastian's time, Herman, what do you remember about racing with David in season 4? Any fond memories you have of that?
I think there was always this kind of lurking presence from him, which in some races, especially where it didn't feel like he had the outright pace, he still clocked valuable points, and especially towards the penultimate race before I had like a really shocking race in Abu Dhabi. I felt like that it's gonna be about me and Andy, and then he just clawed one really from far back and had like this moment where you just kind of knew had that performance in him, and he finally showed that. Mostly for racing on track, I know him especially from season 1 because he was at first my title contender when we started out, and he was going at me in Azerbaijan on that first race of the SSRL season that in that time. And after that, we had, I think, good races, especially at the start of SSRL proceedings when Quincy was still managing in another league that is no longer available for racers to join. So yeah, he was full-time teammate I had, and yeah, he was racing for multiple seasons for a championship against very fast guys. And also one of his best mates, D. Paris, who isn't racing any longer with us, also shared the track. And these two were such a strong showing, and nothing but team play at the front. And you could barely beat these guys on their fine day. And this is what I always will remember about David, that track conditions right, he enjoys it, he's in a groove, he will always put a fight towards you, even if you don't expect it, and you kind of feel like you're too confident and having the edge over him. But yeah, never count him out. And yeah, I think the Scots are really known for never backing down, never giving up, and that's the mentality I think David always showed on track, especially since we had 10 races in a row, no breaks. This was hard on anyone, I think, at the top. Maybe not for Andy, because he seems to be very chilled about it anytime, but like for us both who have been racing a couple of seasons before that on different competitions, that was really nice to see that he was in there again. And yeah, sad to see him depart now as a full-timer, but I hope this setback from Collie can be resolved with his usual strong performances. And yeah, let's see where he can put this car at the end of the race.
Absolutely. We're just observing his teammate Ryan Brooks here, 3rd position as of right now. Just to give you an update on Danger David, of course, thanks to his 5-place grid penalty, which Herman just mentioned, he will start from 11th as of right now, but I am sure he has got more time in that Racing Bulls before the end of the session. 4 minutes to go, and we observe the Racing Bulls of Ryan Brooks starting his flying lap, currently with a 127.4, and of course is full-time from this evening forward, hopefully to the rest of the season, as Vero Ducko is the next driver to retire.
Yep.
Yeah, and also
right in front of Ryan. Oh,
right,
and that's invalid.
Yes, it is. You are correct. Just to let you know, while you were talking about David, Mr. Wouter actually also crashed out, and he is no longer, of course, no longer going to be in qualifying, but he's much higher up than the ones who've retired before him, as then Velosun comes in. By the way, just to give you another update on Quan, another invalidation, and he does not have a lot of time to set a flying lap, so I think, in my opinion, just set a lap and then call it good, because you'll at least be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions up from where you are now. You'll be starting 15th, and that's just really best what you need to do. So get a time on the board. Hopefully it's faster than a 1:30.5, and then you should be all good to go. But what about Ryan Brooks, invalidated, as we all know? I should have remembered that in all reality. Tabran coming to the line to start another lap. What about Quincy? He is just going through Sector 1 now, and is just about a 10th up, approaching turns 16, 17, and 18. The corners just fly by you at a rate of knots. That banking left-hander technically being the halfway point of the track here. DRS opens yet again. I think it's 40. No, is it 3 DRS zones? There we go. Got there eventually. As he is now 3.5 tenths up. So this is coming out to be a great lap so far, but it might be good enough for the top 10, which, of course, remember, he'll be improved by his position depending on where David finishes. Here we go. Final quarter for Quincy now, and he approaches the start-finish line. Final DRS zone coming up in a few moments' time. There you go, just on the pit entry. He comes across the line. It's going to be 9th place, a 4 tenths improvement, and he is now placed in 9th, Herman.
Yeah, nice effort for the new full-time Ferrari driver, as Quincy has been racing some reserve races already at this early stage in the season. And yeah, Flip, because of his injuries and his hospital stay, I think is going to be out for the rest, and he's been replaced by Quincy. I think Quan is about to cross the line for the first time, and that is indeed correct for P14. And I have to say, looking at all these DNFs, I would have loved to see this as a full-time quali, because like 10 people would have gotten probably into what is then Q2, and you have to say that would have been very hilarious to see that Wouter, especially also Kovachka, I think, yeah, they wouldn't have been taking part. They would have made it through on paper, but there was no chance if you retire the car on track and by crash. And there's another one, I think. Yeah. Oh my God, Ryan just hit the back of Andy.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
I was just looking away to bring something up on Discord, but that means Andy, with rear wing damage, surely cannot find another lap, and now we have got yet another obstacle. By the way, just wanted to say that David saying, what the actual hell is going on? What a wreckfest at turn 22 from Herman. Yeah,
that is a 5-place grid penalty for Andy.
Oh, goodness me.
He got a 5 as well as Kovachka earlier on as well for a crash. So we have like 4 people with grid penalties now.
Goodness
Sveda, David, Andy, and who was it?
Oh, yeah, no, hang on. I can't remember. You'll have to look up the race director on that one, but I am observing action on track as of right now, so you'll have to forgive me if I don't go right away. Qualifying has finally concluded. Control is invalidated. Robastian is still going. Kashka in 3rd place as of right now. Andy can't improve. He's just got into the pits. But my word, expect to hear a few words from the admins before we go racing tonight. Race chase also on a lap, but there is... Oh, David has invalidated. David's invalidated.
Robastian has crashed.
Goodness me.
Next guy not to improve control has invalidated it. I think that's it, basically.
Race chase is invalidated. What about Bavish? Across the line now. No. Well, 10th place for him. Tabran invalidated. Sveda invalidated. Yeah, it's over. Control is pole position. Oh my goodness me.
Almost half the field is DNF. We have 5 people with grid penalties. So I expect a very different order coming up for you now.
Herman.
And Control takes a very very surprising pole position, I have to say. Didn't expect that.
He was not on my cards either, but Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I want to try and be nice about this. I really do. I'm a very nice guy, very reasonable, and I share But that was quite a qualifying I did not even expect. And I have to say, there's a lot of drivers who should have finished that qualifying. Like, I really would have thought something from Andrew or maybe even Rendog. Fellow Son asking, will there be a lobby restart? Yeah, a lot of incidents. We are getting a lot of feedback in the Discord, that's for sure. I don't know what to say. Herman, what? There is a lot of surprises up in here, and don't get me wrong, this sets up quite one hell of a race. Sets up one hell of a story. Next week we've got the reverse grid 100% race as well, and there's just a lot. So, what's kind of something that you would like to say on what has just happened in qualifying, if you have any words at all, not putting you under any pressure at all. I'd never do that to you.
Yeah, I'm quite shocked. I think David already summed it up quite perfectly. Shocking edit kick. Wow, that was something. I don't think I've seen that many crashes and grid penalties in.
Can I just go through grid very quickly, because we might need to. So from 1st to 10th, it's Control, Robastian, Kashka, Ryan, Andy, Fellow Son, Mr. Welton, Race Chase, Stage David, and Bavish. Stage David with a 5-place grid penalty, but he's not the only one. Then from 11th to 20th, it's Quincy, Turan, Feder, Kwan, Kvacha, Veradog, Andrew, Verstappen, Gradjog, and then Rendog rounding out your top 20. But of course, remember, a lot of those have grid place penalties, so we won't know final numbers until we actually get into the race. Herman, you may continue. I do apologize.
May the real Slim Shady please stand up and his name
Thank you.
You were very fast on that. Okay, usually we do a prediction game, but I have to say I have no idea where everyone is now starting, so we should maybe give us some slack for this if it's really wrong, but I'm just gonna go off my mind, and I'm just gonna say that Robastian is gonna be taking the win because he's like second. Andy is now 9th or 7th to 8th, I think. So I'm giving him second place. I think he can do that for his race pace. I want to see a great drive from David. Maybe it's a bit of copium, but P3 for him. I think Control can take 4th. And other than that, who was 3rd? Kacha looked good, but he struggles a bit with time penalty sometimes. I'm going to go for Race Chase. Didn't look too bad.
Okay.
Or something.
Is this a top 5 prediction or a top 3 prediction?
Yeah.
Top
5 again.
Oh goodness. Okay. Right. Let's have a think then. Robastian for the win. I'm not going to argue with that one. Control for second, maybe. Yeah, second. I'm gonna go for the upset and go for Kashka for 3rd. And then I'm gonna really go out on a whim and say Quan for 4th. And then for 5th, I'm gonna say who else? Bavish. There we go. I think I covered those were 5 different drivers, right?
Yeah. Did you say 4th and Quan?
Yes, I did, because I don't really know how this is going to go. With the evening we've had, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's true. I think we kind of ran over Ryan a bit, but I think that's fine. We don't expect anything from the usual here tonight. So, yeah.
Of course. I mean, I do want to kind of talk about this very briefly, because with the evening we've had, I think it would be unfair not to. But of course, you kind of went in. I've actually got the notes from Season 3 right here in front of me for when you took pole with a 1:27.3. And the fastest lap in the end went to... Well, sorry, no. Yeah, this was in your last race. So this was before Season 3. Apologies, because I've only got the notes that I have in front of me. I don't actually remember how that went out. But, yes, I do. I'm lying to you. So, yeah, no, you got punted into the final turn. It was by none other than the Nasiri. And what was that like for you, after the race?
Honestly, I was way calmer than I expected. Like, I was very momentarily upset. And I just tried to bring it home because my pace wasn't very strong on that day. I just made it very impossible to overtake me at that time in the game because I ran very low wings and there was basically nowhere in the first sector. And yeah, he just came into the VC race, didn't finish. Like we still had that big shunt in turn 22 to 24 again, where like 4 people died on the last lap as well. And just trying to keep the car on the track because I didn't know at the time if there was rearing damage or so. And he just came and said, yeah, he's very sorry. And I was just contemplating a bit. I wasn't really focused on that, and yeah, I was kind of already done very fast with that moment. I have to say, I was very surprised by that as well, especially after we both spoke in the interviews after, and I was just like, okay, yeah, it happened, can't do anything about it. Even a penalty wouldn't do anything. So yeah, Andy did his job, just winning the race and getting away. But yeah, especially compared to the season we had afterwards, with like 3 guys fighting for the win of the championship with 3 points in between them in the last race, was also very interesting, because like I didn't expect a 9-point gap to be overcome by Andy in such a dramatic way, especially. But like I think I did everything I could in terms of setting up my championship pursuit in that before the Saudi race, and after that it was just a lot of emotions in terms of how much work there was I put in before, and after that was just fine. Okay, tick it off. There's a next opportunity, and then just focus on when the new season is coming about. And then I made a very smart move to sign for the team that took me out, so I tried to avoid that as well.
Remind me, was Rush Nasiri your teammate for that season?
No, that was Jolly Boy John.
Righty-ho, but we have
the constructors as well.
We have our formation lap underway, so we are going to go through the grid positions again because we will need a reminder. It is, and I kid you not, Control on pole, Robastian in second, Kashka, no jokes there, in third place. Fourth is Ryan Brooks, followed by Fellow Son in fifth. Mr. Welter rounding out your top 6 there, and it's Race Chase and Bavish, the McLarens, locking out 7th and 8th for now. Disqualified on the formation lap, Andy and Quincy round out 9th and 10th. Then 11th and 12th is the Mercedes crew. 1 point holding on to 5th position here. They've got to finish ahead of the Red Bulls, and it is Danger David down in 13th position. Of course, as you will all know, final time driving as a full-time driver. Verducco in 14th, Andrew in 15th. It is Verstappen in 16th. 17th is Sveda, then Crank Jorg in 18th, followed by Kabachka 19th, and Rendog rounding out your top 20. So, Herman, what's going to be important to getting away cleanly and getting through turn 1?
Yeah, I think you need to be avoidant of the inside line. So if you are already side by side, you kind of want to ditch out, maybe even cut the corner on the right hand side of turn 2. Quick thing to notice, Andrew, David and Verstappen are starting on hards. Rest is opting for the mediums. I've done some practice before. I feel like the hards can overcome the medium very quickly, so I'm interested to see how much of a pace advantage, if nothing happens, fingers crossed for David, he can overcome the pace quite early on if he's even inside, or especially inside of a DS train. One more thing to add to the wound of Andy: collision with Quincy on the formation lap, and that is probably going to be very cold tires for both of them. So I think Andy might be in some serious trouble as Control is about to park up for the first spot on the grid. Try to avoid being on the inside of 1, try to be on the inside of 4, because then you have the inside line for what is basically a wall in the corner. And after that, just try to stay in a singular line before you head out to return the track on itself. And then just settle in and make sure you don't cut the course too much in the first sector, because that's going to be crucial, especially for time penalties later on. 25 laps, we're about to go.
Rendog is now going to assume the final spot on the grid, and I don't know what kind of evening we're in for today, but I promise you this, it will be memorable. Let the countdown begin for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We have 3, 4, 5 red lights. It's going Jeddah, and it's a good start there from Robastian. He should have the inside, and he has the lead of the race. Is we all clean through turn 1? There is a Ferrari down the inside there. Oh my goodness me! Turn 1, traffic jam. Drivers are going wide and cutting the corner. We have had a repeat of what is happening qualifying. A traffic jam. Collisions across turn 1, and the leaders are none the wiser. Kashka remains third. Ryan Brooks is under pressure from fellow son, but I think there's been Red Bull carnage in the background. Indeed, there has. Andrew is off to a poor start. His front wing end plate on the right-hand side is gone, and turn 1, lap 1 again has provided drama here in Saudi Arabia, but it's Robastian who takes the lead after starting in second place, Herman.
David has quite a shocker as a start itself, but then there was McLaren across his road and blocked him, and he did the right thing, cut the corner. So no damage for what is now P11 for our retiree at the end of this race, but he's gonna be trying to settle in and stay with the group ahead. Diaz is very powerful, multiple fast parts of the track supported by Diaz, including this one. And he needs to be staying with Babish now, as he has already had some sort of a gap to Kwon behind.
Side-by-side action for fourth place. Fellow son trying to go around the outside of Ryan Brooks, and that works beautifully for the Aston Martin driver. Both are on medium tyres, so no difference in tyres there for the compounds, as Andy in the background goes up 13th on the Haas of Verstappen there, and now it's Andy's teammate there, Sveda, down the inside as well, but can he get that stopped in time? He does. No contact between them, and that is a nice overtake from Sveda there for 14th position, and so far so good. You know what, for Control and Kashka, you know what, Kashka's actually having a fairly decent start here. I mean, I know we don't have any of the front runners with us right now, but, you know, he's still having a decent time of it, up there in third place, and he's actually sticking with the top two. He's not outside of their DRS just yet, although he is hanging on by a couple of threads there. Not bad at all from the Haas driver, wouldn't you say, Herman?
Yeah, I think that is a very strong showing so far, but I would say we shouldn't jinx it. He has very good race pace in previous seasons as well, especially season 2, where I also raced against him. And he kind of always struggled with consistency and bad temper, where he always threw it caution to the wind and then retired early. So I hope he's has laid that off. And one thing I noticed while you were talking about the newly appointed Kick Sauber driver, the other one, who is our race winner from last time out, who's about to go by on Kuan, has front wing damage on the right hand side of his car. So that is significant downforce loss for this track, as most of the turns are to the left-hand side. So you are really struggling here, Andy. And this might be, if not for a great race like he had in, I think that was season 5, where he had 2 drive-through penalties and came back from a race. He's in need for a safety car for certain, as David goes by in Quincy. And something, I don't know if you know this, they changed something on the UI for changing positions. It doesn't block the gap any longer, and it's way shorter in terms of animation, which is nice. Must have happened today from the update we had. So kudos to you, Codemasters. A good change for once.
A good change indeed. Yes, I didn't actually notice that. It was so subtle, and, like, you know, that's like how it would look in real life UIs, like, you know, well, the graphics on the actual TV broadcast. I didn't really notice it. I was like, why are the timings disappearing? But of course, there is very good reason for that. So thank you again, Cody's, from myself and Herman, for making our jobs that way easier. So yes, indeed, we welcome that. And at the moment, well, I would say things are calming down, but that would be a massive lie. We have Danger David on the back of Babish. This is for 9th place. Of course, just need to send out a reminder. Babish is struggling with his pedals, so he is not up to pace as of right now, and is looking at some replacements, preferably Thrustmasters, if he can get them. But Danger David still putting Babish under pressure there. Went very wide through those section of corners. That's 22 to 24. And now David looking to the outside here for 9th place. Easy as you like, as now Control takes the lead of the Grand Prix as we see that happen. And look at that. That is your top 5 all together in one frame. We have a caution briefly in sector 3. Oh, there's a no, not briefly. It's Quincy. He's spun round. He is facing the wrong direction, and we have, I think, a VSC here. Quincy spun round, I think, on his own accord. He was in 11th before that happened. Herman, do you have any more information on that?
No, I did not see. I was looking at the Katja's fight because Ferguson also close up to him. Some people are in. Andy is taking that opportunity to go to fresh hearts, and he's repairing that front wing damage, I can assume. Andrew, new mediums as well. It's gonna be next to stop from here on, but can easily help with extra pace in that second stint now, while everyone is being slowed down to a delta, and they basically only lose like 10 to 12 seconds per pit stop, as Quincy now rejoins in what is probably going to be P20 after that big shunt at the exit. Maybe the car was just overly ambitious at the exit. Sometimes that happens from over rotation while not being on the throttle, and the VSC is the most logical consequence for that. And the front runners have a bit of a... Oh, that's a 10 seconds. Have a bit of their gap cut down because they cannot extend over green flag running as of right now. But I think we should be getting underway shortly. Almost half a lap now done. And there's
sorry,
a drive
penalty
for Quincy.
As you say there, Herman. Indeedy, and so we're back underway, and Red Dog makes a move very quickly on the Red Bull. Veridocker overtaken by the, I think an American, no, I don't think he is an American driver. He's definitely British. I've interviewed him before. British driver there in the Aston Martin, and now has the other Red Bull right in his sights. Now, DRS won't be long. Will be activated right away, as Danger David also making a move for 8th place here, and now Control back to the lead of the race. Sebastian relegated. There's Kashka there trying to keep up with it all, very wide through there. Oh my goodness me. And there is his desperation, as Herman was alluding to earlier, coming out there all the way back from season 2 is what our co-commentator Herman was referring to earlier on, and the McLarens are even close together as well. But then again, there is from Mr. Walter all the way down to Babish. It is currently a cluster. Same for the top 5 just here. And then Kavashka and Quincy are also doing battle in the background there. There is some battles up and down the field. Hard to know where to look at the right time. But hopefully you are still enjoying the broadcast, as we have a caution in Sector 1. I think that will be brief. That was just for someone going wide through there, as Mr. Walter now might be on the back of Ryan Brooks here and might be getting within DRS. Herman, what a start it has been. Lap 5, 1 VSC, no safety cars yet.
Yeah, I think I'm currently looking at the gap from Andy to the leader, 22 seconds. He's in need of that second pit stop, obviously, because... Oh, and David is by on T-Brand. Nice one. Out of the newly acquainted DS zone that has been seen a change after the track was first implemented in 2021. And yeah, he's going to have a safety, or he's in need for a safety car, I should say, because that is very unlikely for an extra or the same amount of stops for the top guys, and Andy himself to be coming back from that, even if his pace is that strong. And I think we will see anything...
Battle for third, Herman.
Yeah, Ferguson. Oh, and he almost hits the back of Sebastian, goes wide there, and David is round!
David is round at turn 1. We think he lost it on his own. I don't think that was influence, and he's trying to get back underway, and he's spun again. Oh no, this is not the retirement race he would have wanted. The Scotsman has spun at turn 1, and this is becoming an absolute nightmare for the top 5. They don't know what's happening. They have not got any idea, but for the top 5, they are running away with this. And Herman, go back to what you were saying there. My goodness me, this is chaos.
This was... Oh my... What is happening? This race just throws every curveball every time we visit this. Yeah, I have to say Ryan obviously is benefiting from that. Ferguson dropped back almost to over a second now, and Ryan is obviously trying to use that advantage now of a bit of free air to catch the catcher again, who's about to be out of the DS as well. And there's a spin by Veriduko at turn 13, and he's going again, which is nice. Yeah, sad to see David to be going down the order, but it's lap 6 only, and I was just looking at his pace, and he seemed to be settling in quite nicely. As I said before, hard tires have an early advantage about up to lap 4, where they overcome the performance of the medium tires. Let's see if Sebastian is going to be retaking that lead here into turn 1, and that is a easy pass. Just breeze by and then apply the brakes for turn 1, and then Control is about to try to follow him through, and Ferguson is in for an early undercut here, as there's another yellow flag, and that is for Katja, and there it happened.
Oh.
Too eager on the throttle out of turn 3, it seems. And now his teammate is getting by.
No!
And it's... Oh my Jesus, guys. That is the
Rule 1.
Haas.
Sorry about that. Rule 1 of motorsport, don't hit your teammate, and Kashka, not affording enough room to Verstappen, hits his teammate. That gives Danger David another position as well. And this race, that's starting with a controversy, is continuing with more controversy. Are you a steward here, Herman?
Yeah, I am.
Well, I hope you have got nothing on tomorrow morning. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. This qualifying wasn't enough, and we only have seen 7 out of 25 laps so far. That was very weird, I have to say. Katja didn't really expect Verstappen to be on that line on the inside there, and now he has to limp back with basically just a plate left as a front wing. So, yeah, that is going to be in need for recovery drive as well. And now Andy has caught back up to him. And I think, if I'm spotting that correctly, Andy did not change the front ring on the right-hand side while the VSC was out, and that is correct. So that is not even the best performance he can have from this car, as Control has been going by on Sebastian again into turn 1, and there's Bavish to respond to Fellerson's undercut. Now, it has been very early. I expected first pit stops to be happening around lap 10, but the undercut is strong, and that is another set of mediums, so 2 stop guaranteed for Bavish. Interesting to see how this is gonna work out. Yeah, let's see where the Aston Martin is about to be heading, and that is for turn 1 now, as he's followed by Sveda closely behind, and he is still behind Bavish, so that didn't work out really. Maybe it was in a bit of a traffic jam, and obviously
Kashka's retired in pits.
That's always the same director's cut, basically. You can fill a lot of hours of video footage where he has a bad race, crashes, retires in the pits, and repeats. So, yeah, maybe he needs to be trying to be more subtle, especially with applying brakes or throttle for future races, as now Fellerson is by on Rendork, and 2.5 seconds over that behind Bavish now. So didn't really work out. Maybe it was, as I said, held in traffic, and David is by on Verstappen, who's now 7 seconds on race chase, and the top 3 have now been together for a couple of laps time, and Ryan has in fact closed down the gap. Let's see if he and how he can influence this race at the front. They're gonna be stopping soon, and if you're Ryan right now, you should be looking at that undercut at the end of this lap, because you can undercut too, but you always have to keep in mind, don't come out in traffic. And that is very hard to do, because if I look at this fight for 12 now, there's probably a chance that he's gonna be there. So let's see if they try to extend here to avoid that. And yeah, you don't want slower cars, especially inside of that first sector. And I think control is off. Yeah, control is off, and that is the lead to Sebastian and Ryan, who's now up into 2nd position. Bit of curb riding there at the exit of the S section and the end of the first sector. And David has a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, control down to 3rd, and Sebastian is leading again.
There we go, and Ryan Brooks, of course, also the beneficiary in all of that. Of course, recently taking that RBC after Danger David backs out from full-time racing. Sebastian and... No, sorry, it's Bavish and DeAndre there swapping positions. That is Bavish up into 9th place, and you are correct. Andy did not take that front wing change after his 1 stop, so he must feel that there is enough performance in the car to continue going on. And I'm just wondering if that's a bit of a mistake, because remember, he's 5 points behind the championship leader, which Ryan Brooks is about to overtake now. So now Ryan Brooks becomes your leader of this race. Let's see. Of course, funny chat's coming in as well, but we need to focus on what's happening on track, because Sebastian now has DRS back on Ryan Brooks here. We have seen many collisions going into turn 1, but these two should do it cleanly, although Ryan is later on the brakes, but that means he is wide. There might be a little bit of contact, but they just avoid, but not for the Alpine. Bit of carbon fiber going flying there, and if they continue battling like this, well, they've got Mr. Welter in 4th there as a little birthday present for them, and an unpleasant one at that. So here we go. These 3 needing to be careful. Mr. Welter doesn't even have the pace with these 3. That's not being disrespectful. That's just me looking at how the weekend has gone by. Well, how the evening's gone by. But then again, it's been a very weird evening. And if you haven't been here from qualifying, it's a very long story. That's all I'm going to say about that. But now Mr. Alto with a DRS, and this, oh my goodness me, his control there into the barrier as Verstappen takes away 7th place away from Danger David there. And Danger looking like he is now struggling and not really bringing any danger to the cars in front of him. This has not been the final race as a full-time driver he would have wanted. And now he was thinking, why did I not give this another week? But there you go. That's how, unfortunately, this evening has fallen for the Racing Bulls driver. And now he goes right back at Verstappen and will continue on. As of right now, though, it's looking like we're going to have potentially a 4, and if Race Chase catches up, 5-car battle for the lead here, Herman. And that will, at the very least, be a very exciting prospect. But Ryan Brooks, at the moment, still deciding not to come into the pits until now with Robastian and control, and Walter stays out.
I was about to say that the top 8 haven't pitted yet. I don't expect David and Verstappen to be coming in, started both on the hards. Rest of the field has been in, mostly under the virtual safety car. We had just a couple of laps ago. Let's see if anyone can gain a position here. And Veriduco has retired. Let's see. Is that a virtual safety car?
VSC deployed. Yep, you are correct. Veriduco is crashing it through turns 16 and 17 there, and has brought out the VSC, and there's a Racing Bulls there that looked like was going to go into the back of Babish there. That was Ryan Brooks. So Mr. Walter, he could have, I mean, I don't know. If you've not pitched at this point, Herman, are you kind of regretting that now, although you couldn't have foreseen the VSC coming?
No, I don't think so. They were... This VSC is kind of helping them still, because like they all on track had to slow down by way more than they would usually do on the main straight, because like the difference in performance, especially top speed for the guys in the pits, isn't changing. But if it's closer to the VSC Delta, then they kind of don't lose so much time. So maybe they saved 1 or 2 seconds, which, looking at the traffic they are in now, especially with Ryan being ahead of Andy while Control isn't. So this is going to be a bit of a span in the works for him to get around still a very fast guy, despite suffering some damage to his car. So I think overall Wouter made a logical decision, just didn't have luck now. So there's nothing really he can put himself to blame. Only, yeah, if there was like another opportunity after that with a full safety car, sometimes the VSC converts. We're under green again. And I think, yeah, Water is now into the pit lane, as well as Race Chase, and T-Bran is now leading the race for Mercedes here, as he's been now 11 laps on these tires. And yeah, I think the cars who are currently in the pit lane will be swapped out easily, as also David and Verstappen go by currently in train. And the Finnish driver is following the Scotsman, as now Water is rejoining at the queue behind Fellison. So that isn't too bad. Fellison has 5 lap older tires and pitted way before that.
Oh, Fellison making contact! Oh no! Attacks the Ferrari as well! More drama from Saudi Arabia, and well, Mr. Walter tried to avoid all of that, but with the momentum from the spin, the Aston Martin collected the Ferrari, and Mr. Walter, from a great finishing position, now has it all to do, and no VSC or safety car deployed as well. Herman, it's now, well, you must be thinking about the stack that's going to land on your desk, well, in about half an hour's time.
I have to say, I wasn't focused on that. I just, I don't know if you remember this moment from Imola a couple of years ago when it was very rainy. And we had this moment with, yeah, there must have been 22 and Ricciardo and I think Sainz. And there was always a meme about how, what if we kissed at the Tamburello chicane? And that just happened as well when both were facing each other. That looked so funny. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about incidents at the moment. But yeah, sad for Wout and Fellison, both of them having good races compared to the previous performances, and how they struggled as T-Bran is now into the pit lane. So and David is taking the lead of the race. Yeah,
T-Bran took out the polystyrene boards as he came into the pit lane and had to drive over them. So I don't know if that is...
Oh no!
What?
Control at the hit of Bevish into turn 1. Another crash into turn 1. Bevish and Control. He was way too late on the brakes. And the McLaren is off in turn 1.
Oh, goodness me. Another incident happening in the space of a couple of minutes. Herman the German losing his mind here, thinking, I have got yet another file to review once this race is done. And now Herman is now sweating in the co-commentator's box, because his workload has become an all-nighter here in the SSRL steward's room. It is going to be one to forget, that is for sure. But hey, for us spectators, it's one to remember. And at the moment, as we look at that, we have got Ryan Brooks on the back of Robastian. Now, remember, as things stand, Robastian will be your championship leader. Still going into this, he had a 5-point deficit to Andy. And you got to give it to Andy. He is up in 6th place with a missing front left end plate as well. And here we go. Ryan Brooks now is going to try and make a move as Kavachka gets a 3-second penalty. We don't really care about that, respectfully. But Kavachka there, just a bit of news for you to bring you up to date, as Control is still there somehow, despite what just happened to Control a few moments ago. And in fact, carrying damage to that front wing as well. His right end plate completely gone. And yeah, Sveda as well has incurred damage as well. I don't know how, as Verstappen is next into the pits. But here we go. Down the start finish straight we go. Does Ryan Brooks have a go? No, he's going to sensibly get out of that. And now we continue on. But, oh, goodness me. There's just one final twist in the tail, isn't there? This isn't over just yet, as Babish has retired in the pit. No!
Safety car.
Where was he?
I think he crashed it in the pit lane.
He crashes it in the pit lane and brings out the safety car. That's a penalty, isn't it?
Oh, no, exit off. No, I think exit off last turn. There's a lot of debris on the left-hand side.
Let's have a quick look there, see if I can get a car to get into
Fellison, maybe.
Yeah, in fact, yes, there is debris at the exit of turn 27. I do apologize to Babish there. I didn't mean to make you look bad, but that is now, after all that chaos, after all those incidents, our first safety car is here, and it is Danger David, who is going to greatly benefit from this. He was leading with a 3-second penalty for track limit violations, and now more drama has come around, and it's going to be, well, everybody into the pit lane now, surely, Herman.
Yeah, must say that yeah, we went even at the halfway mark, and now the first safety car is finally upon us. Didn't take too long, but also could have come out earlier. And yeah, David is way ahead of the guys who are very much benefit from this. And you have to say in P5, Andy as well. There's a bit of a gap, obviously. So if he wants, maybe you should as well now repair that damage, and if he has a second medium, go to that as well, because David needs to be going to that anyway, and he will do that. And I think the rest will come in as well. No, Robastian stays out, in fact.
It's raining! It's raining! I think.
You gotta be kidding me.
I thought I saw rain. I think I saw rain.
Let me check the onboards.
Hang on. I think I could have seen something there, but I thought I saw rain. I could have sworn I did. I think I was seeing things. Yeah. Okay, panic over.
This race is already dramatic enough. You don't need to inflate it.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw rain in the pit lane. I thought I saw it.
Mr. George Russell is with us in the combos today.
I think it was just the sweat from my forehead. I do apologize. Yeah, you know what? Can I just grab some water while you can just have the safety car period?
We have a short moment to breathe here. Yeah, I'm checking the onboards. I have to say, I don't think that's correct for the moment. But yeah, one interesting call. Race says Robastian staying out. So that is going to be an interesting factor. And David is obviously going to be in need to pass these top 2 guys immediately. So if they battle behind him, especially with these 2 then in between the next 2 who just pitted again, Control and Ryan, who are, I think, quote-unquote, more on the advantageous side to win this race, because David's 3-second time penalty is by this clear tire advantage for the rest of the race. So there's a lot of hoping now going on for David fans, because you need to be in a position to quickly pass them, then get away, and hope they fight behind you, especially with Andy coming through. Wouter had some good pace and has a tire advantage now, and at some stage in the next 11 laps we have left now, you are looking at fights for, yeah, one-on-one positions between Control, Ryan, Verstappen has fresh mediums as well. So Yeah, let's see if Andy actually did, in fact, swap that wing. I need a better camera for this, though. Which I'm currently
By
not
the way,
getting,
I've
but
just
it
come
looks
back.
like it.
Rush the Siri is absolutely confident that David will be winning this one. And Rush the Siri and Sarah have both told me how delulu I am, so that's very nice to know indeed. I honestly thought I saw Ryan. Watch that bit back in the broadcast. I promise you, you will see something that is equivalent to raindrops.
Yeah, sure, Dave.
Okay. Make fun of me. Okay.
No, I'm joking.
But anyway, let's have a look at some of our biggest winners and losers at the moment. Biggest winner at the moment, Verstappen and Danger David. 10 place improvements. Of course, Danger David's is a bit of an asterisk because of the fact he had a 5-place grid penalty as well, which might or may not have been deserved. So I think that award realistically goes to Verstappen, if I have got this correct. And one of our biggest losers, well, you would have to say Bavish, of course. Our retirements are the biggest losers there. Of course, Kashka as well, down 17 places. Bavish down 10 positions. But of course, in the current running order, that's fellow that honour belongs to fellow Son and Quincy as of right now, both down 6 positions and not really where they want to be. Of course, Quincy actually fighting for the title in PFRL Friday nights as well. That is, of course, another one that this channel covers. Of course, those are the 100% races. But here we go. At the moment, we have got just about all the pack catching up, and we should be racing under at lap 17. So we'll have 9 laps of racing to come at the line, Herman.
Yeah, Kuan on soft tires is the only one who's currently really the odd one out. The rest has opted for fresh mediums with a bit of a split in between. And yeah, as I said before, both Williamses and the McLaren race chase staying out. Also, Crankwork opting to stay on a hard tire. I think that's not too bad of a call. Tire warmer for the first 2 laps is probably going to be not that great, but it has been improving. And I think we might get an extra lap because safety car hasn't been called in. So yeah, Kovačka can in fact catch up to the rest of the field, and we'll be getting underway at the end of the next lap. So yeah, I'm interested to see how David plays this now, because he needs to be strategic about this. Passing early, gaining ground early means he has less cars to be around him that can put him in a fight, which means less actual time lost to the rest, because Andy needs to go through the field. Andrew has pace to go through the field despite a bit of a tire disadvantage. But would say is currently stronger than Verstappen, and had better pace also than David, but started way lower than David, as he also got a crash inside of the qualifying earlier on. So yeah, and Control, bit of a dark horse, didn't expect his pole position. Now he's in a easily top 2 position to, or even for fighting for the win if he can get by David as well.
I just want to point out he also has front right end plate damage, unfortunately.
Oh.
Which is a bit unlucky. So unfortunately for Control, might drop away from this, Herman. I don't think he's really going to find it easy once we get back underway.
Ryan Brooks to win as in his first race as a full-time V-Cup driver, while David is departing. What a story.
What a story.
Also, greetings to Energetics, who is going to be taking his place. Or basically teammates from now on then. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Most certainly will be. And what a way to pass the torch as well, from one driver to the next, from the senior to the junior. That would be quite the handover. And it would be quite symbolic if Danger David took the line and then Ryan Brooks in second, and thanks to that 3-second penalty, took it away from Danger David. That would be a very literal, figuratively and literally, passing the torch on to Ryan to continue things on. But safety car has been called in. Let's get underway, and it will be Robastian to lead the 16 other drivers behind him, and it is up to him. Once the safety car is in the pit lane, let's listen to that Williams engine. Left it as late as possible so he could reduce the run to turn 1, and it's going to be Danger David looking from the outside to the inside. He's past the start-finish line. Does everybody keep it clean? There's a kick Sauber looking left and right in the background. Everybody gets away clean so far, and it looks like Sveta has got a 3-second penalty for track limit violations as Danger David up into 2nd place, is on a mission right now. Ryan Brooks as well remains 4th place, control unable to get a position as Race Chase up into 3rd place as well off that restart. What a restart from the McLaren so far. His teammate Barish out of proceedings, so he is carrying that British flag all the way to the end of the race as long as he stays with it. Verstappen trying to look from the outside to the inside, and then the outside again, and then it's Andy Andre also with a fully repaired rear front wing trying to cut around. Andrew gets it done through turn 13. Andy Andre up to 7th position, and he's looking at Verstappen in front, and Andy is also on a mission. It's not over yet, and we have got one hell of a final 8 laps, don't we, Herman?
Yeah, certainly. Andy on the chase from low positions after what has been a very poor evening so far. And I cannot believe how he does that. He comes back out of nowhere. Like, he needed that extra stop, and then the safety car completely brings him back. And now he's certainly looking at a top 3 position because his pace is obviously going to be very, very strong now with the repaired front wing and giving him that extra pace. But yeah, if he's overdoing it, the hard tires that are currently on, for example, Sebastian and even Control, who has damage, or Ryan as well, can outdo him. So he needs to be very mindful, and he's about to mind his own business, passing Verstappen. Yes, Andrew also in the back looking to show himself in the mirror there for the Haas reserve driver, and Andy into 6th position already.
Ryan Brooks also up into 3rd position on the back of that, gets past Race Chase into turn 1, and now is looking at his teammate directly. 1.7 seconds separating him from David, and Rush the Series saying there's going to be some Scotland forever. Well, he's got to also keep an eye out for Robastian. Robastian is quick, he's consistent, but also he's got Ryan Brooks as well, not too far away, and David will be thinking about that. He will want his teammate within his DRS track sooner rather than later, but they also need to think about Race Chase. He is very quick in his own right as well. Ryan Brooks needs to do a bit more. Only a few more tenths to go, but dirty air, remember, will also be affecting Danger David, and that will be helping Ryan Brooks to no end. DRS now activated down this straight, and how close can Danger David get to overtaking the Romanian? I think he'll have to wait a couple of more zones, and indeed, going through turns 22 to 24, he were not close enough to have a look around anywhere at the moment. DRS will open one last time. Well, no, for the second to last time for this lap. Danger David closing it sooner rather than later just to give him a chance to follow through into turn 27. Here we go, the long left-hander, which of course Max Verstappen was going to be on for an iconic lap.
No!
Oh no!
Wout and Andrew came together in the final turn. Inside line for Wout, and Andrew couldn't hold it around the outside and has dropped back and is now under pressure from Sveta and Quincy as Andy takes the fast lap of the race.
And as soon as we say that as well, Danger David to the lead of the race. It is all kicking off up and down the field. And, Andrew having to cut off the back of, having to cut the front of the kick Sauber off there so that he didn't go overtaken. Quincy now to the outside of turn 4. Oh, goodness me. As Sveta is spun. Contact between the kick Sauber and the Ferrari. Oh, there is more damage on the track. And Quincy has lost a front right end plate, and aerodynamics are going to be severely affected as Wouter as well, losing positions. I don't quite know why. I don't know what's happened to Mr. Wouter there. I think he's actually allowed Andrew through after that contact. That's the only thing I could really predict there. But at the moment now, Robastian is being left behind. Danger David is getting away, Herman.
Yeah, he's certainly in his fight for his life. He's driving like it's his last race, ironically, and he is in need for that because there's a lot of DRS zones, and he can get easily back, and if Robastian doesn't have the pace...
Oh no! Control and Andy have crashed! Oh my goodness me, I'm so sorry to cut over you there, Herman, but more drama has unfolded, and control... Oh my goodness me, on time! A Red Bull of Crackjaw has crashed! Safety car 2 is out! Oh my goodness me! 10-second penalty to Kovačka for a severe collision with Andy Andre. That was not... I don't know. That was a terrible rejoin, as Sarah said. Oh my goodness me, Herman, I'm so sorry, but like... I can't believe what I just witnessed there. Control and Andy make contact through, let's just have a look on my track map, turns 23 and 24, around that section, going on to the second DRS straight. And then Andy tried to rejoin and rejoined on the racing line, causing a severe crash with Crank. And now Andy out of this, surely. There is no way back. I have seen epic comebacks from Andy, but I think this is just too far now with the safety car period. There is not enough laps.
I just got a heart attack. Your microphone gladly cut out there. My ears were gladly saved because, oh my god, I didn't see it. I was watching another battle, and then all of a sudden Andy's around. What the fuck? Sorry. What the heck is going on?
I don't believe
Yeah, Ryan and Robastian are certainly now in the win. In a fight for the win, because that 3-second time penalty is not going anywhere for David, and we're probably gonna be rejoining racing at the start of 23.
Yeah.
Latest we can do is at the start of 24. So yeah, and Crankyork is just an innocent bystander and goes out of the race, was in a decent position. Yeah.
How brave are you feeling to bring Andy into the commentary box for a potential interview, if I can get him?
Not feeling that brave. Not feeling it.
Well, I am. I'm going to try it.
Okay, yeah.
I'll try it. I'll try it. Okay, you continue on.
Yeah, I'm just... Yeah, Race Chase is in a good position, obviously, to the podium as well. Verstappen, his tires are going to be conserved a bit here. But yeah, you have to say, oh my god, what an opportunity for Ryan and Robastian now. One of them is going to certainly be looking at that and saying, yeah, that's my win. And yeah, what an start to a full-time
Oh, wait a minute. No, Andy's still racing. I've got mixed up here. Hang on a minute.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, sorry. My bad. I thought Andy had retired.
Delete the message.
Yep, delete. Yep, delete. Crank Joke saw it. Sorry. My bad.
All good. Yeah,
yeah,
fresh
no,
softs
I'll just
for
talk
Fellas and
to Craig real
Quincy.
quick.
Yeah, all good. And Andy, he's in the only position that is not getting any points at the moment. There's some drivers with time penalties. There's also post-race penalty for Fellison, so... Oh no, I think that's for tomorrow, I'm not sure, let me check. That's for tomorrow, sorry, gotta mix up.
It's okay.
Forgive us, the race is already mixing up everything, and
of course,
our brains are a bit fried, so let's see if we can finish this race by lap 25 with less than 2 more incidents. I'm just gonna be cautious here. I don't want to promise something I can't help. I'm a bit sad for Wout after that collision with Fellison. He couldn't recover, and there was no opportunity really to be benefiting from that safety car, as everyone else, especially in front, made pit stops when they were running on different tire strategies. Andy was ahead with a different tire strategy. David hadn't pitted, and there was also I think T-Man that left it late, and I think also Verstappen. So yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate race, but there's still something to be made up if more people at the front are too eager to, or maybe even too egoistic to keep their position in a very unsafe manner. So I wouldn't rule out another incident, as I said before.
Yeah.
See if it's going to be a late call, because Andy has now rejoined the queue, but
no.
Sebastian has left a big gap now, so... Oh, it's a very late call.
No, sorry, it is. Call. We're going to go racing this lap, so here we go. It is going to be the Racing Bulls to lead us for a 3-lap sprint for the final time, and it is going to be quite chaotic, and already we are underway. Didn't even have time to go quiet there, and now there is a massive traffic jam right at the back there. Nobody knows what's happening. Kwan is slow to get away there. Hopefully no penalties for the drivers that are inclined. That's right, Brooks and... Oh, David's round! Oh no! David is round! And that means the top 4 have been handed free real estate. This is absolute chaos, fellows. So with a 10-second penalty, as Kwan is round as well in turn 1. He's down to 16th. What is going on in Saudi Arabia? More paperwork for for Herman to look at, that's for sure. As Andrew is going side by side with Fellowson there. Brave stop. Oh no, there's contact between them, and they're both forced round. Red Misters Fellowson has retired on track. Oh, goodness me, and it's not over yet because now we have Race Chaser who's got a 3-second penalty. It's Ryan Brooks and Robastian for the win tonight. Do we brave post-race interviews? I think there have been better evenings for that. I'm not sure. It's out to Brand has made a mistake, allowing Mr. Wild through. But now Ryan Brooks on the aggressive towards the Romanian of Robastian, who will be your championship leader, continuing. And now this is going to be a dramatic final 2 laps. Once we get on the, once we have DRS activated again, Ryan Brooks is right on the gearbox of Robastian. And look at this. Control, Danger David, and Race Chase have come to say hello as well. But remember, they have post-race penalties of 3 seconds coming. And here we go. Ryan Brooks to the inside. He takes the lead in the race. But 2 laps to go. It is not over yet, Herman. Drama, drama, drama. It is being produced, and yellow flag in sector 1-4. Oh no, not again, as Danger David's round again! Oh no! Danger David round, and he's gone. Herman, that is an upsetting end.
That is certainly an upsetting end. I think he must have had rear wing damage from that first collision into turn 1 if he was hit in the rear, because that certainly looked like a loss of stopping power from the rear wing under braking for turn 1, which is one of the harder braking zones, as Andy is now by on Rendok anytime. Wanted to say Control, just as we restarted, got a 3-second time penalty. So Verstappen, if he can keep it within the white lines, is about to be finishing on the podium as a reserve driver here. Has only done, I think, two races so far. So yeah, he needs to be calm and collected. 1.5 laps more to go. And that is very saddening end to see to David's SSRL career, as yeah, he's now DNF'd in P15 after looking like he was gonna be on the podium just 6 laps ago. So everything is upside down, and it's certainly set right. A lot of work for us stewards coming up.
Luckily, I'm not one of them, so I will just gloat and say, I'll have a very good evening. Thank you very much.
Oh, free right into the last turn. Quicksia does a double crash! Double crash with Rendok and Andrew! Oh my god, what are you doing? Stop crashing, please! 3 right into 1 doesn't go!
And now we're going to have 3 right into turn 1 as well! Oh, there's more crashing! There's more contact! As Andrew says, I don't care! I'm forcing my way through! Oh my goodness me! We are going crazy in the commentary box! We can't stay in our chairs! And now looking at this, there's also a battle for the lead! What is going on? This is one of the most heart-racing, most confusing, most controversial races here in SSRL, and my final lap speech for David has been completely binned because of what's happened here tonight. But now we may see the passing of the torch. We might see how this, when one driver goes, another one comes in, and a replacement in Ryan Brooks. That is no mean feat, as Andy overtakes his teammate as well for 8th place. But now all eyes to the front of the field. One last lap, half a lap to go, and now there is only 2 DRS zones to go. Verstappen overtakes for 4th place. That is absolutely amazing stuff from the Haas driver. But now all eyes to the top 2. Robastian with DRS open into turn 27 we go. What does Ryan do? He goes to the middle of the track. He doesn't want the outside or the outside vulnerable to the car behind, as now Verstappen has more contact in the back potentially. But now to the line, is it Ryan or Robastian? It's Ryan who wins in Saudi Arabia. But what about in the back? It is going to be Verstappen on 3rd. Goodness me, we finally have
Andy is 6.
Andy takes 6th place there. I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know.
Control is DNF'd. Control didn't make it to the line.
Maybe that was the I leave too early bug again. I don't know if they fixed it. Why the race? I cannot believe it.
Absolutely. What a race that is. Yeah, no, unfortunately.
That's an understatement. Understatement.
Underdavement. I'm sorry.
None of us backed Ryan and he just wins the race. Okay then. We guess we F ourselves then.
Yes.
What a race. What a race. Honestly, heads off Verstappen. 16th on the grid to P3. Great drive. Also Sweda in the back, 17th. But you have to say, not the only thing that didn't really happen was like really strong performance from any of the really top drivers, because like
Sebastian.
even Sebastian was yeah, but compared to what the gap to Andy was, and
the game could somehow
into comparison, just oh my god, yeah.
I'm going to just take a screenshot of that because that's iconic. But anyway, on to the unofficial results, and this is extremely unofficial. Your top 10 are Ryan Brooks, Sebastian Verstappen, Race Chase, Tabran, Andy Andre, Mr. Walters, Sveda, Quincy, and Andrew. And then from 11th to 20th is Red Dog, Kavachka, Kwan, Control, Danger David, Fellowson, Cranjog, Bavish, Veriduko, and Kashka, with your known finishers being Crank, Bavish, Veriduko, and whoever was in 20th there. It was indeed Kashka. There you go. There you go. I did it again. Anyway,
I'm a bit sorry for yours tomorrow if the race tomorrow is going to be the same, because that is certainly.
Well,
oh my god.
Well, you're going to be involved in that. I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
anything. I just got to show up and spectate. I mean, what have I got to worry about?
Yeah. Maybe a eviction notice from your neighbors, because they've been saying that they don't like the amount of noise coming from your apartment. Maybe
I'm in a fully detached house. That's no bother.
that's good. That's good then.
But yeah, do we need a third commentator? Someone is asking. That was.
If you want to do Tuesdays, you can join Dave. No worries.
I'd be open to it. But yeah, absolutely. Anyway, well, let's get.
Yeah.
As you are a steward here, do you have some early opinions on the incidents, or would you rather save that for the steward's room?
I would rather save that, especially with all of the off-board cameras. You really don't see most of the times how the cars are angled and everything. So yeah, most of the times POVs are best to see from both parties involved. So I think the only one we can certainly say is that most of the qualifying crashes, certainly someone at 100% fault, especially that one with David.
I will say may have an opinion on an incident, but this is before race stewards review this. So there was and somebody's pointed this out in chat as well. But Andy's rejoin, when he after contact with control, that looked very unsafe. But again, remember, I'm not a steward. I'm getting it on a first time reaction, so do not take my opinion on it. But that, in my opinion, will result in a penalty. So I don't even think 6th place is on the cards for Andy. But anyway. Lots to review and lots to unpack, and we will have podium interviews here in a bit. We're still waiting for a couple of other drivers to show up, if they do show up. It has been that kind of evening. Let's see. And of course, well, I think one of the one of the other headlines I just kind of want to touch upon tonight, of course, we kind of built up this epic final race for Danger David. And well, for reasons we understand, of course, not even finishing it, it was unfortunate for him, and I'm very sad for him, because, like, you know, I just want to go through some of his stats just while I've got the time, and while we're waiting for things just to gather. He had 6 pole positions over 6 seasons, 7 wins, 19 second and thirds combined, and then 7 fastest laps, and that is quite a career, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, certainly. You have to say that the theme of this race was that David was always in danger, and everyone who was racing him really barely wasn't, because he was such a clean driver and respected, and he will be for the eternity of the SSR universe, because everyone who raced him was very open about that they're gonna be missing, especially the OG guys from season 1. And yeah, I'm just hoping he has fun and good luck with whatever he's doing outside of racing, and whatever this change basically came upon, whatever reason there was for this change to be made now. I just hope everything goes well, and I'm certain also that the doors are always open for him for a return if he considered it down the line. So thank you, David, also for me as a driver who has raced with you previously. That was a very special career so far, and I hope to see you on the track one day again. Thank you.
Of course, I think, well, without delaying much further, because I'm sure people have evening plans for tonight, Robastian cannot join us, and I think it's going to be the same for Verstappen. Um, so let's get things underway. Well, Ryan Brooks, congratulations, your first win in a full-time seat here in Division 1. Lots of chaos up and down the field today. You benefited from just about all of it, and you take the win. What a race debut that was for you in Division 1 as a full-time driver.
Yeah, very happy with how it's gone. Qualifying P4, I would have been on pole if I didn't end up writing my car off. I was 3.5 tenths up going into the last corner on my qualifying lap, which 3.5 tenths would have put me on pole. But obviously, stuff happens, and I didn't end up finishing qualifying, which is a bit not the best. But then we go into the race P4. It's a good race. Safety cars, VSCs make it very interesting. After was it the first or the second safety car, I ended up losing places because I were only on 10% on my hards, but I thought I'll pit now, get the new hards on, and then I'll have the tyres on Robastian till the end, to which it did end up paying off. I was a bit nervous when David was in front on the mediums, but after that restart at the end, he just, I don't even know what happened into turn 1, but he went into turn 1, spun, and it was me and Robastian through turn 1 and 2 next to each other, and I just let Robastian go. I thought we'll just battle it out for the rest of the race. I knew what his game was towards the end. I know he wanted to stay behind and get me with DRS and ERS down the back straights, but I weren't having none of it. So on the last lap, well, towards the end of the 24th lap and the start of the 25th lap, I was just saving ERS. I knew that he weren't going to overtake me because I know that he didn't want to be in front for the last lap, so I just saved as much ERS as I could. I had about 95% going onto that back straight on the last lap, so going on through the first DRS straight, I didn't really use much ERS because I knew he didn't want to overtake there, because then I'd have had DRS to the line then. So I knew he weren't going to overtake me there, so I stayed in front, didn't burn my ERS, and then down that last straight, I just used it all. I thought ERS, as soon as we come out of the corner, ERS to the line, and that's it. And then the last corner, I tried to hold my line as much as I could to stop him from getting a better drive off the last corner than me, which it did work out in my favour, which I'm happy about, and I still had some ERS left to burn to the line. So yeah, really happy with that. I weren't expecting the win. Like you said the other day, Dave, I'm always happy with a podium. But yeah, I'm over the moon with a win, especially in D1. So yeah, very good race from my side.
And of course, we'll be back. I think we're back here at the same time tomorrow. Just kind of as a little bit of a pointer for tonight. I don't know if tonight's going to be the best of all pointers. We'll see what Division 2 brings, but of course, you'll be joined by Herman as well in the driving aspect of things. Yeah. What have you taken away from tonight that you're going to take into tomorrow?
Just take it easy. There's a lot of people that are rushing to make moves. And I mean, 50%. It's not a long race, but you've got plenty of time. There's plenty of opportunities to overtake if you think about it, right? Because you can just use DRS, get the better exit out the corners, use your DRS, and there's no need to battle into corners. Then it's kind of hard battling corners sometimes. So you want to do it on the straights, and when you've got a track like this where you can do it on the straights, it's worth just holding back, getting the DRS, saving up your ERS. And getting them down the straight. I mean, I don't mind the dirty air because it can give you a bit of time to save your ERS. If you're at the front, you've just got to burn a lot of ERS. So if you're behind them, you can just sit back, relax, brake a bit earlier, take it easy into the corners. I just coast around the corners when I'm behind someone because it's not worth pushing for the dirty air. But with all them DRS straights, you've got 1, 2, 3. You've got them one after another, haven't you? So it's worth just waiting till then, take your time, and obviously it pays off because it's paid off for me. So yeah, really happy with it. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad somebody is. I don't know about our stewards for tonight, but that's another story for another, for another time. I'll pass on to Herman, but I do have one last question for you before I do. There was no real strategy, was there, for tonight? Any strategy you could have come up with was basically thrown out the window. We had 2 VSCs, 2 SCs. How were you playing it as the safety cars was coming around? I know you talked about your positional pressures earlier on in the interview, but what about, like, you know, just your prep and then where you were with your tyres? and how long there was with left in the race. How was that for you to cope with as the race went on?
Yeah, so it does make it hard because at the start of the race, you've got a strategy, you've got it in your head, you know, on what lap you're going to pit. If someone's in front of you, you could try the undercut. If they pit on the same lap, you can either stick with them or try the overcut, which more than likely it won't work. But when the safety cars come out, it's kind of hard. I think the first safety car came out on lap 10. Am I right in that? Or just a VSC?
You want us to remember? We saw
was
all of that.
Lap 13 was first
Was
full.
it? Oh, right.
Full
So,
safety car.
it must have been I don't know what it was, but we pitted on lap 10. I was going to pit on lap 11, but I wanted to get the undercut, and Rebastian, he dummied in and then actually went in. So I thought, I wish he'd have stayed out so then I could get the undercut. But I stayed on them for hards for a couple of laps, and then when the second safety car came out, I was on comms with Quincy, and I said, "What do I do? I'm on 10%. Are we pitting or not?" So it was up to me. That he didn't give me any advice because he didn't want to make the wrong decision for me. But I took the chance of pitting. I lost 2 places, I think it was, which it is what it is. The lads who overtook, I think it were Race Chase and David, they had an amazing strategy because they undercut me. So fair play to them. It's just a shame it didn't pay off for them. But with the fresher tyres, I was up for it with Rebastian. I knew that his tyres weren't as old. My tyres were newer, so I thought I've got it. Just keep it clean, keep it smooth, and let's see how it goes. So yeah, you've got to play the safety cars as they come. It's one of them. You can't decide. I mean, you can make the right decision, you can make the wrong decision. Who knows? And then you can sit after the race and go, if I'd have done this, this would have happened, or I'd have done better. But it's not worth reliving all that. I can't moan. I've ended up P1, so I'm happy with how it's gone today. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Herman. You may take over now.
Yeah, okay. So obviously you have now joined Racing Bulls as a full-time driver to replace David. There's obviously a bit of a conflict of interest maybe now. So after this win, you must feel delighted, obviously, but your strong pursuit of what is currently the first 3 races done for Division 2 as well. Where's your focus now for after what has been happening tonight with that race win and the team that has been placed in third in the championship that is mostly dominated now by both Romanians in that Williams car? Where's your mind at for the season? Where's your focus, as we usually now do all of the races synced for both splits? What is your focus?
Main focus has got to be to have fun. If you're not enjoying it, you're not going to do well. So I've got to enjoy it. As well as enjoying it, I want to do well. So it's one of them. Don't push yourself too hard that you're not enjoying it, but you've got to push so that you are getting good results. Dave knows I'm happy to be on the podium. If I can make it on the podium most weeks, I'll be happy. If not, it is what it is. Stuff happens. Some things you can't control. I've had it a couple of times where someone's spun in front of me and I've had nowhere to go, so I've ended up going into them. Them sort of things you can't control, but if you get out in front to start with, then you know it's your race to lose. So my main aim is to try and get good qualifying, because I seem to have decent race pace. So if I can focus on getting good qualifying, then I'll be happy through the season because I've got a better opportunity of getting on the podium then.
All right. Then wish you the best of luck for tomorrow. Don't have anything to add. Was very chaotic, and congratulations on the win again.
Yes,
Dave, from myself, congratulations on a win in what was a certainly memorable race for one reason or another. Ryan, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for taking my questions. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time.
You too, mate. Cheers, Dave. You sure will. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Herman, well, we have someone listening in. I don't know if it would be rude to ask for a little bit of a statement on tonight's racing, but I'm maybe too brave in that regard. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut on that one.
Nah, go ahead.
Okay. Here we go. Qualifying in the race, it wasn't as clean as you would have liked. I mean, let's not talk about your own race for the time being. Is there anything you want to say in general to the guys and girls watching here?
Racing etiquette needs to be better, man. I feel from looking at all the grid penalties and everyone out of place. I don't know if it had anything else to do with anybody else on PC, but my graphic settings seems to have been reset or changed. I'm getting massive frame drops, and it's just not running as well as it was literally a day ago. So I'm going to need to do some investigation into that. I'm not sure if that's a game-wide problem or just a me problem, but I had some PC limitations today, so that's probably the excuse I'm going to use for my terrible race.
Yeah. But yeah, no, unacceptable race etiquette. I mean, we saw some ridiculous stuff in quali as well. I mean, even Herman had a few comments about that. I mean, what are we looking for tomorrow night then? Because we're going to be back here same time as usual, obviously with a different set of drivers. Some will be transferring over from Division 1 to Division 2, as you know, between reserves and full time in that division. So, what's going to be the message going into tomorrow night then?
Yeah, I'm just going to try and keep it clean. And obviously, when I watch the race back tonight, I will have a look and see who I need to speak to or what needs to be done. Have a look at what tickets come in when the guys calm down, obviously, because it was chaotic from the word go tonight for some reason. I don't know if it's the track nature or, you know, SSRL history in Jeddah has never been the cleanest. So I guess that's got something to do with it. But we're just going to take things into tomorrow, try and be as clean as possible. I'll put a little announcement out after I've watched the race back to see for myself what has gone on. But we try and be as clean as we can be here, and respectful, obviously, to everyone on track. It's a shame that it's some of the moves and stuff has happened, but again, with the walls being so close and certain things happening with safety car restarts as well, people going too slow, people going too fast. I mean, some people will find the wall, so I think we just all need to calm down a little bit.
All right, then. Well, look, that's all I'll kind of get from you for tonight. Obviously, you've got things to do tonight, so I'll leave you to get on with that. And thank you very much for just giving us a little brief answers about that. Thank you very much, Quincy. Well, Herman, we can wrap this up at last. That was a race and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah, certainly. I think we got at least 2 races worth of entertainment from quali alone, it feels like, where so much was happening. I'm kind of hoping that, especially from viewers' perspective, it's not going to be that messy for tomorrow. And although Quincy has pointed it out that there was like an overload of incidences, you have to say that that was very much the exception to previous races. Yes, Saudi in its entirety for SSRL maybe a bit over the average, but in terms of overall racing quality in quali and in the races, you have to say that this one was very much an outlier in terms of its extremes. And although we didn't see like 4 safety cars and like crashes on every lap, there was a lot of things going on that where it didn't seem to be calming down maybe for just 3 laps. So yeah, let's hope that from tomorrow night on for both divisions, that's not going to be the case in terms of like how dramatic it was as well. And there's certainly more interesting championship coming out after this, and we're probably looking at a very different result because we certainly didn't catch everything for what has been happening. So yeah, I think 7 days time we know more.
All right, then. Well, Herman, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you in the commentary box for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for Division 2, and hopefully hopefully it's a cleaner race than tonight. And, it will be just as exciting. I know that much. And, you'll be continuing on because you took the win last week. And, you'll be hoping to make it 2 in a row, I bet.
Yeah, certainly. Let's see.
All right. Well, Herman, I will leave you to have a look at what happened over tonight because I think you've got a long night ahead of you. So I'll let you get to it so you can get to bed earlier.
All right. Thank you. GG, stay. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. And with that, we will conclude what has been, for lack of a better word, a demolition derby. We will be back for Division 1 next week. So just to give you an idea, that will be in Belgium. Now, I don't think that's going to be a 100% race anymore. I think it will be just a standard 50% race, but it will be a reverse grid. I do know that much for free. So don't go anywhere. That will still be an entertaining one regardless. But for immediate SSRL action, we'll be back here in Jeddah again for round 4 of Division 2. And that hopefully will be a lot cleaner, but just as entertaining as tonight was. From myself and everybody at SSRL, including the admins, the stewards, and even the drivers, we all thank you for watching. and we hope to see you again either tomorrow or next week. But until then, bye for now.